Hello and welcome inside Toyota Arena on this Sunday afternoon. A matchup, friends, that we've been waiting for. The Ontario Fury playing host to the defending Ron Newman Cup champion, the Milwaukee Waves. Let's get right down to it, Jose. Ian Bennett and Frank Tielu. Frank Tielu leads the league in the MASL in goals at 41, while Ian Bennett, not so bad himself, 37 for Ian Bennett. He was held scoreless last night in San Diego. But Tielu, since we essentially asked for more, he gave us more than we can handle. 4 consecutive hat tricks in that 6-game win streak.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the beginning of the month, you were like, I want more from Frank. I want more from Frank. Well, we heard you, and he's definitely provided for now becoming the single-season goal scorer for the Ontario Fury. So see what he could bring tonight, but it's all about containing Bennett for Ontario if they want to come out of here successful tonight.
Well, Bennett, you better believe he's going to be hungry. Visiting Southern California, both Pechanga Arena just last night in that difficult overtime shootout loss to Craig Childs in San Diego. Ian Bennett held pointless in that game last night. Give props to San Diego. They did a heck of a job playing defense, locking them up. There are plenty of weapons on this Milwaukee Wave team. This kickoff here from Toyota Arena, just a few minutes away. Stay tuned right here on MASL TV.
In the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, O&T is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, O&T is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why O&T is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Center at Casa Colina. Our Revive Joint Replacement Program offers board-certified orthopedic surgeons and robotic surgical precision for improved fit, balance, and feel of your new joint. Each patient benefits from a dedicated orthopedic team and an individualized surgical plan for less pain, quicker recovery, and improved outcomes. Casa Colina Hospital and Centers for Healthcare, where better begins.
Good afternoon from the Inland Empire in Ontario, California, inside Toyota Arena, alongside my partner Jose Duran. I'm Brian Tabajay. What a match we have just seconds away here, live right here on MASL TV and 11 Sports. I want to welcome all the fans across the MASL and those tuning in, of course, from Milwaukee. The defending champions of the Ron Newman Cup, the Milwaukee Wave, visiting Toyota Arena, and the Ontario Fury. And Milwaukee on a tough loss last night, Jose, down in San Diego, playing in that overtime and shootout match, losing 6-5, ultimately 3-2 on PKs. And here they are visiting Toyota Arena for the first time this season. Head coach for the visiting Milwaukee Wave, simply known by Coach Giuliano Olivero. Assistant coaches Marcelo Fontana, Marcio Liete, and Hans Dennison. Trainer Ricardo Chavez. As head coach for the home team, Jimmy Nordberg in his 3rd season. Assistant coaches LeBaron Holloman and Troy McCarroll, both in their 1st season. And the equipment manager is Kevin Curtin, along with first-year athletic trainer Jennifer Hawk. Ontario in their predominantly black kits, working from right to left on the broadcast here in the opening quarter of play. Milwaukee in their predominantly solid yellow kits, working from left to right. Tonight's officials: senior referee Shane Butler, referee Lauren Barnett, assistant referee Robert Sarfaraz, and the 4th official is Steve Skilly. As Tielu, holding off one defender there, pleads for a foul, gets it. And an early set-piece play opportunity here for the home team, Jose.
It's going to be crucial for the Fury to jump on top of Milwaukee, and what a better way than to do it in dead ball. We've seen Ontario be very dangerous throughout the season on dead ball action, so hopefully they see a quick turnaround here. It's been a minute and a half gone by, and it's been all Fury so far.
Tielu on the attempt, and just a minute and a half into tonight's contest, it's a 1-0 lead for the Ontario Fury.
And right on cue, we asked for it, and he delivers once again. The King, Frank Tielu, it's only a matter of minutes before he gets involved in the action. His 42nd goal of the season, and what a beauty it was. 1-0 Ontario.
42nd goal. That tallies him still for the best atop the MASL. Just touched on it seconds ago. Ian Bennett in second with 37 for himself. Does lead the team in goals as well. 38 total points on the season. 42 total points on the season. Perry has 37 goals with 5 assists. Tielu, that 6-game winning streak, 4 consecutive hat tricks. And he's done more than be an important key factor offensively on this team. You look at other team members of the Ontario Fury in Charlie Gonzalez, in Justin Stinson with 25 points. Charlie Gonzalez with 35 himself. You have 4 other players in double-digit figures for total points. Jose, it's contributions all over the pitch.
Yeah, the Ontario Fury has become a goal-scoring machine, have you, here in the MASL with a plus 18 now goal differential in the season, but most importantly, like you mentioned, other players being involved, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there as we know Frank Tielu 42 goals now in the season, but I think the player of the Fury so far, I should say the MVP of the season, should go to Charlie Gonzalez. What he's done ever since the team was 2-7 back in January 17th. I mean, 8 of the last 10 before the last game in Turlock, 6 in a row. Huge key factor was Charlie Gonzalez, and I think ever since he became the all-time leading goal scorer for Ontario, he's just become a different player overall.
Well, in his 4th season in the MASL, Charlie Gonzalez has found a home here in Ontario inside Toyota Arena here and has made it look so easy.
Yeah.
And one thing I can take away from Charlie Gonzalez, he's never lost composure on the pitch. Whether they're down in the match, whether they're up in the match, there's never too much emotion from him. He's slowed the game down, it looks like, at least, right? When we're watching him, he tends to slow the game down himself and play at his own pace and his own skill.
Yeah, 18 goals, 17 assists. He's just a couple assists shy from being a top 5 in assists for the league. So we know what he could do, and like you mentioned, he slows down the game. He's always involved in every single play that it seems for the Fury on a dead ball or live ball, as you say. But also, Chris Toth, ever since they did go down 2-7, he's been a key factor for the Ontario Fury and up there in saves and win percentage as well. So huge key important factors for Ontario, Chris Toth and Charlie Gonzalez. And I'm not taking anything away from Frank Tielu because we know what he does. But there's also other players that don't get involved as much in the scoring that are making a huge impact for Ontario.
Well, you're talking about Chris Toth and his save percentage. 2nd in the MASL in save percentage, just a hair over 72%. You can't contribute it enough to Toth and his defenders in front of him as well. You look at the big body of Uzi Tayu, who's joined the club, and Cisse, who's a veteran, Jeff Hughes, who's a veteran of the MASL as well, and then Concalvis, who's back into the mix defensively and who's here tonight as well and dressed for tonight's match. Healthy scratches for the Ontario Fury: Marcus Jordan, Edson Cardona, Steve Merker, and Jiho Lee. Gonzalez on the restart. Man, I'm excited to watch this team from Milwaukee to play here inside Toyota Arena tonight. I mean, it's one thing to catch them on MASL primetime and see the highlights. You see Bennett, you see Ferdinand, you see all their stars on those highlights and plays on MASL primetime, but it's another thing completely to watch them here live. And one familiar face that we get to see again here in Southern California is Luan Oliveira. Spent a couple seasons here in Ontario. A player who is at sails up and out of bounds, always rising off of the foot of Johnny Topete. Miscue there, as you see on the replay. And the restart coming for the visitors. But one player in Oliveira who was here with Leonardo de Oliveira, Taguinho, all those Brazilian stars who were part of this franchise a handful of years ago. Man, he was fun to watch.
Yeah, great contributing factors for Ontario history, but now they're on the other side of the team is Ontario on a counterattack here.
Vega was stripped to the ball. Tayu does have Charlie Gonzalez to the far side. Off of his line. Well done from the Milwaukee goalkeeper there. It looked like it was contact with a hand outside of the box, potentially.
Yeah, ref right in front of it, though, so got a clean angle. Play on. Uh-oh.
As Rafael Diaz, who got the start after Joey Capinos, who also spent some time here with the Ontario Fury franchise, as you see on the replay here. As the ball was deflected, and then Diaz here. Oh, he missed the ball. So, well done from the referee as Frank Tielu is on the ground.
Yeah, we
next
see here
to
in
the Milwaukee goalkeeper now. We did not see any contact with Frank as Jennifer Hawk sprints out to the pitch. Uzi Tielu checking to see if his brother is okay as well. If there's anything on the replay here. It looks like
his foot got stuck in the ground there. Never a good look once you're on the ground on that and that kind of pain. And when you see the replay here, must have been an ankle problem. Hopefully it's nothing too big here for Frank, and it'll be huge if he goes down for Ontario tonight.
So tense moments here as we wait to see if the King Frank Tielu is going to be okay. Already on the stat sheet tonight, or this afternoon I should say, with a goal himself. Up on his 2 feet, that's always a good sign.
Yeah.
As Frank will make his way to the bench and definitely be attended to here with 9:45 remaining here in the opening quarter. Looks like there's going to be an injury timeout here on the pitch. So Frank still leading the MASL in total goals. 42 now, mark it down. I know Ian Bennett is itching to dig into that deficit there for sure. As you see Tielu and Diaz tangled up on that last play. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that play. Both players going for the ball. It's a 50-50 challenge there. As the 9:45, we'll be back inside Toyota Arena. 1-0 lead for Ontario.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
So Frank Tielu walked to the bench. He's going to get attended to after looked like, I believe it was his left ankle, Jose, when he went down to try and play that ball. And fortunately enough, he's walking on his own power. So a restart now for Milwaukee. Hughes will promptly send that right back down to Diaz. Diaz on the year 7-1 overall record, 4.08 goals against average. They did pick up Joey Capinos. Capinos played last night brilliantly in that overtime shootout loss to San Diego. San Diego, it actually went to extra shootout attempts. Craig Childs buried 2. Ferdinand now on the turnover from Cisse to Oliveira, steered wide off the fingertips of Toth.
Huge save there by Toth. Error in the back by Israel Cisse. But fortunate enough for the Fury, Chris Toth, big hands, save.
And onto the pitch for the first time for Milwaukee. Liete had a huge game last night. 21 total points on the season. Had a hat trick and a penalty shootout conversion for Milwaukee. Stinson steers it to Hernandez, far side. 1v2, looking for some support.
Ooh.
He'll take them on. Laid off to Topete. Topete, all that power. Not a lot of placement on that attempt, unfortunately. Let's see if he can fine-tune that right foot. Get something on frame here.
I've seen 2 shots from Topete, and both shots he's gotten right. A little too under the ball there, and as you see it sail way over the goal.
Deep ball sent into the near side boards. Topete defensively for Ontario. As Alvarado gets another start tonight here for the home team, Ontario Fury, the rookie out of Anaheim, California. Off the boards and right into the midst of the 2-time MASL goalkeeper of the year and Chris Toth. Tielu, what a beautiful sight this is.
Yeah.
Jose, Tielu back onto the pitch, and we're talking about Frank. Not that Uzi is just as important on that back line as Frank is to the offensive end for Ontario. Charlie Gonzalez now. And now Thiago Concalves, the newly engaged Jose, and congrats to my partner as well, newly engaged Jose Duran right next to me here.
Gonna be one of those lucky guys now.
Hey man, it's all smooth sailing from here, right? Charlie Gonzalez going 1v1. He'll lay it off to Toth. All the way up top is Tielu. Cisse drawing in a defender in Hain. And you got to believe, right? I mean, Milwaukee is 7-time champions. They played last night. I would like to see a little bit more pressure offensively. Test their legs out maybe. They had that overtime loss last night right down the 5 freeway from here in Ontario, in San Diego, at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. And they left last night after that game, arriving here. Frank Tielu now on the turn. Kyrell pressuring. And near side, Milwaukee works with Murillo and now Diaz. Ferdinand. Hughes on the turnover. Frank Tielu turns, fires, and scores. Let's give him his second goal on the night. What a beautiful turn that was. Off the turnover, and Hughes, he looks just fine to me, and it's 2-0 Ontario.
Well, in the first goal, ask and you shall receive. Second goal, ask and you shall receive. Right on cue, Brian. You were just mentioning that the Fury had to go ahead and apply the pressure and test those legs out, and that's exactly what they did in this sequence of goal. They applied the pressure, they got the ball back, and quickly Hughes sees that Frank Tielu was wide open in the middle of the goal there. Quick touch, Frank, enough time to compose, take his comb out, comb his hair, do whatever he wanted. He had plenty of time, and he puts it right in the corner where nothing the goalkeeper could do, and it's 2-0 Fury.
So Frank Tielu making sure he remains on top as a MASL league leader in goals, now with 43. Ian Bennett itching to get on the stat sheet himself, as you see Coach Jules and his boys getting some direction here after the timeout. But it is fan appreciation night here inside Toyota Arena. Fans will be able to meet and greet all the Ontario Fury players after tonight's contest right on the field. Fans, if you have not checked out MASL Primetime, it is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bashuvansky hosts a 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch each and every episode as you're watching Ontario Fury Soccer on MASL TV and 11 Sports. You can catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. So a 2-0 lead for the home team, Ontario Fury. Let's see if this continues as far as offensive pressure and capitalizing on any miscues defensively from the visiting Milwaukee Wave.
Good crowd tonight here in Toyota Arena as well. 2-0 lead for the Ontario Fury, and it's been all Ontario for the whole first quarter. I want to see a little bit more from Milwaukee, but go for what you wish for here, but we'll see Ontario in the counterattack.
Stinson steers it to De Abreu. Boy, they're getting back pretty quickly defensively. 5 men behind the ball for Milwaukee. Stinson, far side! Threading the needle, finding the net is Stinson, and it's 3-0 Ontario.
Boy, they're making it look easy tonight, aren't they? Ontario Fury, it seems like everything they're shooting on target and everything that they're doing is precisely the way they've written up in practice and throughout the week. Justin Stinson, we've seen him throughout the season just taking shots from outside here and there, but that one perfectly went into the bottom corner. Nothing goalkeeper could do there for the Milwaukee Wave. And Ontario Fury are just showing their dominance and the reason why they've won 8 of the last 10. And just like that, 3-0.
3-0. I mean, Stinson, you're talking about precision off of that right foot and the far side boards. I actually thought it was going to go wide after he struck the ball. But boy, oh boy, he knows exactly what angles to play here at Toyota Arena, and he found the perfect spot to fire away and make it a 3-0 lead for the home team, Ontario Fury. Fans, you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following, MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also follow all over the Ontario Fury on social media. All you have to do is search at Ontario Fury. So Stinson tallies his 26th point on the season, his 16th goal for the Ontario Fury franchise.
You have 3 players scoring over 15 goals in a season for you. You're going to do good things. And, I mean, we've been pushing it throughout the whole season, Brian, and this team is just littered with talent, and it wasn't a matter of time for them to go ahead and get things going, and they've done so far in the second part of the season.
So I will get the goalkeeper replacement. Diaz pulled after 3 goals in the first about 9.5 minutes or so here in the opening quarter. And Milwaukee with a goalkeeper change already. As you see the highlights here on the 3 goals. Set piece play for Frank Tielu. Buried to the far side. And then Hughes on the turnover here. A turn and fire on the left foot. Looks like they'll be aggressive with the goalkeeper replacement. Utilize him as the extra attacker. Looks like right now at midfield.
That's because the game just started like a bucket of cold water just thrown in the backs of the Milwaukee Wave players. They have no idea how the Ontario Fury have jumped to a 3-0 lead, but they're adding another attacking player, and we'll see if the Fury can take advantage.
It is an aggressive move so far. Oh. And
Wait,
saving the game so far. Running to his right and sliding to his left. A fingertip save there from the extra attacker.
Goalkeeper or not, extra attacker or not, that's a great save. He was falling to one side, and he knew exactly what to do. Just like extend that arm there, gets his fingertips to it. But the Fury just knocking and knocking. They just keep going at him.
Well, Milwaukee as Toth now with the fingertip save. Topete clears the defensive third. Nobody pressing up top. Nestor Hernandez, the lone Fury player at midfield.
Yeah, let them come to you here with the extra attacker and create an opportunity for a possible counterattack play like we've seen in the last 2 sequences.
Well, San Diego was up 4-1 last night, and Milwaukee made it real interesting. I believe right at the break, it was a 5-3.
Ooh.
It was a 5-3 lead for the Sockers. So they did play from behind last night as well. Oliveira to the far side. Bennett, he had Ferdinand right on the doorstep there, and just a miscue. De Abreu holding it back for the captain, Israel Cisse, and fresh bodies onto the pitch for a line change. Kyrell, Gonzalez, Tielu, and Tielu, along with Hughes now. Steered to the near side in Frank. Defending there 1v1. Decides to lay it off to Charlie Gonzalez. Steer back to his goalkeeper in Toth. Kyrell. Pass midfield to Gonzalez. Nobody along the far side. He'll elect to go and Tielu again to the near side. Overlapping run for Hughes. Just got under the ball there. As Huffman playing pretty tight defense on the MASL league leader in goals in Frank Tielu.
Really, really tight. They're getting to know each other really well there. As you see the hands all over Frank Tielu. But, I mean, it's something that we see every day and every week when we see the Fury players. Players are just trying to contain him as much as he can. He just puts that body in front of you, and from that point on, there's nothing much you could do as a defender other than just try to contain as much as possible, poke the ball, do anything. But with a big body of frame of Frank, it's almost impossible to take the ball when he has it covering the way he does it.
It's only 6'1", 280.
Only.
I mean,
that's why he's such an important for the Fury. I mean, the last couple of seasons, been missing that player that could create his own shot. And boy, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he was going to come out and score 40-plus goals in his first season. So, and he scored a goal every game that he's played for the Fury. So, huge key factor for the Ontario. But what I like the most is that it's not just Frank. It's not just the focus, it's just him. It's other players, Justice Stinson, Israel Cisse, Charlie Gonzalez. They're all having fun.
Well, you got to believe Frank Tielu has some extra fuel as a restart here and just sailed wide off of the left foot. And now Ferdinand tried to inch it in there from the far side. Milwaukee maintaining possession. Now Liete settle things down. Frank Tielu, last time he was held scoreless in the final last year against this Milwaukee Wave when he was part of the Monterey Flash. So you knew, at least we did, how much he wanted to get on that stat sheet after losing that final last year against these defending champs. Ball rolls all the way down. Angel Curiel, known as Chino on the team, is the extra attacker.
Yeah, seems a little premature being the attacker so early in the game, but that kind of just shows the frustration that Coach Olivero has right now with his Milwaukee team. But it's understandable after playing a game last night. Just jump on the freeway, try to come back here and do it again back-to-back nights. It's difficult.
On the turnover from Tielu, commits the foul there. No blue card given.
Lucky.
Then Andre Hain was a man disrupting right next to Tielu. Ferdinand over the ball along with Oliveira. Liete, the third Milwaukee Wave member, as Oliveira fades into the near side glass. Ferdinand lays it to Oliveira. Left-footed shot attempt curls wide. Bennett on the collect to the far side. Kyrell pressuring for Ontario. And with 1:10 left, 3 goals for the home team Ontario Fury. A pair from Frank Tielu and a goal from Justin Stinson. Bouncing ball for Oliveira. Tried to juggle around his former teammate Into Pete. Tielu fires by midfield and it rolls just wide. Chino saying, come on, man.
The thing is that Frank could just create a shot from anywhere, it seems like. And that was just bouncing perfectly for that volley, but it was just wide.
35 seconds remain. Liete. Chino. Liete steered off of the foot of Uzi Tielu. Ultimately, that is just a restart to the far side. No defensive clearance there. Oliveira, lay back to Chino. Liete pressuring is Cisse. Nestor Hernandez trying to get around his defender in Liete. They're going back and forth now to the near side glass.
Ooh.
And a whistle there after Chino gets tangled up with Hernandez. And Cisse was still in the mix there. You see right there. Could have been either one of them. A restart now with 4 seconds exactly remaining here in the opening quarter.
Love the pressure from the Ontario Fury, though. Up 3 goals. Still want more.
Head coach Jimmy Nordberg wanted pressure, wanted goals, and he got it in the first period of play. It's a 1-0 lead for the home team, Ontario Fury.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Move towards a better life with the Orthopedic and Robotic Center at Casa Colina. Our Revive Joint Replacement Program offers board-certified orthopedic surgeons and robotic surgical precision for improved fit, balance, and feel of your new joint. Each patient benefits from a dedicated orthopedic team and an individualized surgical plan for less pain, quicker recovery, and improved outcomes. Casa Colina Hospital and Centers for Healthcare, where better begins.
Everyone deserves a safe, clean place to call home, where children can grow and thrive. At National Community Renaissance, we are addressing our nation's housing crisis, building in tough neighborhoods and creating communities that support academic achievement, economic mobility, and improved health. With an integrated team of professionals, National Core is transforming lives and communities in California, Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. To learn more, visit nationalcore.org.
Folks, you're watching the Ontario Fury on MASL.tv. Catch every game each week on the league's officially streaming home, MASL.tv. MASL Primetime is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Pashuvansky hosts this 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch every episode, MASL Primetime. It's great to see Milwaukee in person other than MASL Primetime, Brian, but so far, duds and nothing but eggs for them on the scoreboard, meaning 0.
So far.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage any broadcasters' jinx here, Jose, but yeah, I mean, it's the defending champs. We rarely get to see them. In fact, the last match they had was here at the Citizens Business Bank Arena. It was a dominating performance from Milwaukee, a 10-4 victory back in 2016. So it is very rare that we match up with Milwaukee. Have yet to head out there to visit them, and maybe someday, right? I don't know with the current schedule. But Toth out of his box, and Milwaukee applying a lot of pressure already. Topete tangled up with a player to the near side. That is Guillermo Vega. And Vega making contact with Topete.
Yeah, Topete just play on, forget about it. Don't even let it get into your head, because we kind of clearly saw his hands being extended there, but you're up 3-0. Why even fight for that?
So Liete will steer it to the far side in Diaz. And Chino's ready to hop back on as the extra attacker. So the concept's still the same for Coach Jules and his boys in yellow, trying to dig into this deficit here. It only took about a minute and a half for Frank Tielu to score his first goal on the night, a set-piece play opportunity that he capitalized on. And now Chino to the far side. Back onto the pitch as an extra attacker for Milwaukee.
I don't know how I feel about the extra attacker on this early, Brian.
I like it. I like it. I'm not saying you have an opportunity to potentially score a little bit more, but, I mean.
The aggressiveness.
The aggressiveness. That's what I like.
Well, my end, I'm like, it's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of game to be played. It's a 3-0 lead. You and I both know that in the MASL, that could evaporate in a heartbeat.
And fingertip save there. Hain on the rebound attempt after Oliveira and that left foot. He has such a dangerous left foot. He has a big wind-up, and you know when he's going to shoot. But that power, as you see there along the far side, Hain was just a toe cleat away from finishing that. Ferdinand to the far side. Tielu greets him to the far side glass. Earns the ball back momentarily. Steers it to his brother in Frank Tielu. Cross midfield. Great ball to Maicon De Abreu. Regaining possession here. Hughes, the veteran. And now Cisse. Bennett up close and personal for the first time for us here in Southern California. Charlie steers it to Frank Tielu. Far side, Ferdinand getting his whole right arm and deflected. Oof. Nearly bounced in. Chino, 1 foot right on the border pretty much, but still able to maintain possession and lay it off to his teammate in Liete.
I like it from Frank, though. As soon as he got the ball, take a shot, take a shot. We know that the field player is not a normal goalie, so doesn't have those reflexes like a usual goalkeeper.
Long ball sent in, and then defended there beautifully from Concalves, as Huffman was the lone attacker as the ball was sent in deep. Cisse near side glass. Steers it around Chino. Well done to make contact initially, and then Cisse almost got the bar and in, but just a little too high off of that glass. You see head coach Jimmy Nordberg encouraging his boys to regain possession here and cause some havoc. Frank Tielu defended there from Huffman. Chino, dangerous area there. The Milwaukee getting out of their defensive third to play it forward.
What a heads-up play, though, by Charlie Gonzalez. The boards play, too, and he saw exactly what Frank Tielu was doing with his body movement. He's like, I got to bounce it off the board there so it could go straight to Frank. But the Milwaukee player was right on top of that defensively. But the Fury's players, they know that as soon as they get the ball, let's go on the attack, let's get a shot. It's going to be a high probability the ball going in the back of the net with a field player playing goalie.
The way that the possession is going, this game is at a flyby.
Well, just like that, quarter done, and 2 minutes almost done here in the second as well.
Milwaukee's a very disciplined team as far as staying out of the penalty box. They only average about 3.5 minutes per game as far as penalties served. So they know how to play disciplined soccer. And let's see if that continues here. Bennett shouldered off the ball there from Uzi Tayu, and Toth will look over his options and just send it deep to Charlie Gonzalez. Kyrell on the collect. Around one man. Maintaining possession. Charlie Gonzalez! Thank you, Kyrell! Another goal for the home team, and it's 4-0 here in the second.
Thank you, Kyrell is an understatement. I think after he's going to have to owe him a beer, a present, something. As, gee, what a play there does the Ontario Fury pull off as it's a defensive recovery here from Ontario. But what a defensive step by Kyrell going in that 50-50 challenge. Right there, it's either you or the other player, so you want to go in there with as much strength as you can. And Kyrell did that with strength and with the tenacity of knowing that he's not going to injure the opposing player there too. And it goes straight to Charlie Gonzalez. He's not going to miss from there. The all-time goal-leading goal scorer for the Ontario Fury makes it 4-0.
His 19th of the season, his 75th goal for the franchise. You said it, Jose. The franchise leader in total goals scored belongs to Juan Carlos Gonzalez, known as Charlie, here in Ontario, California. And with 9.5 remaining here in the first half, it is a 4-0 lead for the Ontario Fury. Bennett trying to squeak it through the wickets of Chris Toth. Oliveira trying to wind up, does so, and pushes it wide. Ferdinand against De Abreu. Now Hain, Hughes on the doorstep to help out his goalkeeper. Sky-high clearance attempt. And Chino holds it in for the visitors. Oh. Hughes, a miscue there defensively, and that's a defensive clearance to stop or start at the top of the would-be arc. Newly painted turf here at Toyota Arena. On the restart, Liete. Oliveira disrupted there. And now Cisse. Boy, these guys are going to get a workout today.
Yeah. Getting a back and forth game here from both these teams, but so far still clock is ticking in. Nothing from Milwaukee.
And I think that's why, right? You're looking at Coach Jules' decision to send on the extra attacker. Do they have enough time, though? I mean, yeah, we are in the first half of play. 8.5 remaining here to go in the second quarter. but it takes a minute to get something going, a little bit of momentum to generate. When you get a couple goals back to back, maybe you're sparking something. Charlie tried to flick that on to Tielu to the far side. Bouncing ball for Milwaukee to the far side. That is Grable. Topete clearing it out momentarily. Oliveira will settle. Gonzalez. Huffman out of bounds, and a restart coming for Ontario.
Great offensive sequence so far from the Ontario Fury. I'm enjoying so much what I'm seeing from the boys in black and red tonight. But folks, remember that Ontario International Airport is a proud partner of the Ontario Fury. Visit flyontario.com. SoCal, so easy. And it seems like it's been so easy for the Ontario Fury tonight. Everything that they're doing, it seems like it's just the way they've written up in practice. From the goals, from the passing, from the way they movement, from the pressure that they're putting on Milwaukee. It's exactly what you wanted from head coach Jimmy Norberg, guys. This team that just played last night, keep that coming at them. Let's take it to them, and just like that, it's 4-0.
Well, there was frustration after their loss up in Turlock on Friday night, a very narrow victory for the Cal Express. Nothing to take away from them. They earned that victory. They were on a 6-game winning streak were the Ontario Fury, and they stopped it right in its tracks on Friday night, a 98 victory. And, you know, I was talking to head coach Jimmy Nordberg before the game, and he doesn't want to say that they overlooked that contest, but it might have felt like they possibly could have as far as mentality. So they want to redeem themselves here, especially showing against the chance. Nestor Hernandez, Liete tangled up. A whistle in the end. A foul on Hernandez. Boy,
Dangerous.
I don't know if he got ball there, but no blue card was given. And play on we are.
Let's play.
You see on the replay here, Hernandez knows he's going to lose the ball. I don't believe he makes contact with it. And that replay view looks like he might have got away with one and lucky. At the break, with just under 8 minutes left to play, we'll be back from Toyota Arena. 4-0 lead for Ontario.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
MASL Primetime is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bashivansky hosts a 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch each and every episode.
Boy, you're hearing this crowd, Brian. They are into it here in the beautiful Toyota Arena in the Inland Empire, Ontario, California, to be exactly. Great crowd, and they're being treated to literally what they've been calling as the hottest team in major arena soccer, and is the Ontario Fury, and 4-0 lead on this defending champs. Not an easy task, but man, they're making it look so easy, and here they come again.
Well, arguably the hottest team, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the 6-game winning streak, Stinson, boy, if that went through, great deflection there defensively off of the boot of Huffman. But you look at Utica City FC, a 7-game streak of their own. And Ontario, who had the 6-game win streak, they tied their franchise consecutive wins with the 6. And unfortunately lost just a couple nights ago. Chino spinning ball off of those mitts and all laid down to himself. But Utica City, now with 8 consecutive wins, 14-3 overall, sit in the second place position in that Eastern Conference. Florida has already locked up a spot at 16-2 overall. Milwaukee, 12-5 in that Eastern Conference, and Baltimore jockeying back and forth with Harrisburg right now. Baltimore 14-8, sitting in that 4th seed, 12-7. Still very much in the mix is Harrisburg. And now Chino to the near side, defended there from De Abreu. Liete goes around Frank Tielu. Little contact there, right past the yellow line before midfield. Those are some big bodies right there. You got Hain, Liete, and Tielu.
They called it against Frank, surprisingly there. He saw a shove from the behind, but at this point, Frank is, once you're in the lead, you have 4-0 lead, you're not going to be complaining or as frustrated as if you're the other side of the scene there. So Frank understands that, just walked away. Why even bother?
Concalves trying to D up Bennett to the near side.
Yeah, great turn.
Steered, that was so quick. Bennett to Ferdinand, and they're on the board. It's 4-1 Ontario.
It was only a matter of time, and the only time tonight that the Ontario Fury have been called ball watching has been tonight there, and you see it. But it was a great turn nonetheless by Bennett. Nothing Goncalves could do there. Quick turn, sets up in the middle. Ferdinand pokes it in. It's that 1-2 combo that the Fury are going to have to contain tonight. They've done so for the majority of the game. And just there, it's 4-1.
Let's tally it to 16 goals for Ferdinand on the season. His 39th point as well. And Ian Bennett, we were unable to do, or the boys I should say, were unable to do what San Diego did last night, which was hold him pointless. As Bennett tallies his 6th assist on the year and his 43rd point on the year. The team leader in total points. A turnover there from Gonzalez. They'll lay it off to Oliveira. Bouncing ball, difficult attempt there. Milwaukee now. Let's see if they can carry any possession. Diaz currently on the pitch for Milwaukee, so no extra attacker yet. But Diaz looking to the bench, waiting to get back on. Little contact there. Vega will restart for Milwaukee. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Ferdinand and Bennett deflected there from the veteran in Hughes. Underrated play, but a great play nonetheless. Handball there from Uzi. Near side glass as Bennett tried to squeak that ball past him. Contact on the arm there. Restart coming for the visitors.
Their hand, or rather ball to hand there, and it's going to be called all the time here for the officials. But 3:56 left. Hopefully the Fury can contain Milwaukee.
Oliveira.
And get out of here.
Sorry, Jose. Oliveira on that restart. And yes, that is a great point. That's another handball there to the far side. If they can get away to halftime with 3:47 remaining, it would be a small win in tonight's contest. As Toth will restart, look over his options here. The would-be extra attacker all the way in their goal as of right now in Chino. Toth to Concalves. Concalves pokes it past one defender. Shoulder to shoulder they go to the far side. Tielu intercepts. Tried to get it to Concalves. Bouncing ball, hops out of bounds. And that'll belong to the home team, Ontario Fury. Telpete on the quick restart.
Well, the Fury look so dangerous every time they're on the offensive sequence. Seems like they're about to get a goal every time they're on the Milwaukee side. Something we haven't seen from the Fury in the last couple of games, but are seeing it in the latter part of the second half of the season.
So Pete pushed in the back there. He earns a foul call for Ontario. 3:01 remaining here in the first half. And Topete will start it off to his goalkeeper in Toth. Tielu, near side glass. Defended there from Huffman. Goes around him and fires away. Frank Tielu, the first half hat trick. And it's 5-1 Ontario.
He's gotten us so spoiled, Brian. Another hat trick for the King. Seems like he could do it every game that he's out there. But boy, what a sequence does he create for himself. He created his own shot. He could turn around. He could do whatever he wants once the ball is in his feet. And nothing the defenders could do there. Great turn, just enough space. And like we've been saying, obviously the goalkeeper right now is a field player. He doesn't have the reflexes and the experiences to create those saves. Frank knows it. Just shoot it on target. 5-1 Ontario.
Oh, Frank, man, he's getting his revenge story right now against this defending champion in the Milwaukee Wave. Held scoreless in the final just a season ago in that final. And now getting a hat trick in the first half. I'd say he's right on track to, I guess, getting some redemption. Of course, the real redemption would be a title as Hernandez pressuring Chino. Cisse settling the ball down. And Hernandez, off the head of Hernandez and into the hands of Chino. The extra attacker, like you said, Jose, not the official goalkeeper, as Diaz was pulled after 3 opening goals to start things off in the first quarter. And now Hernandez. Chino playing out of the box. And the extra attacker, Liete. Right now, as it just hit under 2 minutes, they look tired.
Yeah. And when they pulled the goalkeeper when it was up 3-0, and now it's a 4-goal lead. So hasn't been effective to go ahead and do that switch. I think it messes up your game plan. It messes up what you were intended to do. Then you're completely out of what your game plan was once you go ahead and add that extra attacker. But, I mean, coach knows what he's doing. He didn't like what he was seeing. 3-0. Like you said, you like the aggressiveness, but so far it's not looking like it's been working for Coach Oliveiro.
A turnover there and out. He goes bar and right outside the goal line as Bennett
Yeah, he thinks it was inside.
tried to get one back for Milwaukee. Stinson, he gets tripped up there.
You know, he thinks it was inside, and I think it was inside too. We'll have to see in the replay, but Ontario Fury just caught ball watching once again there. Attack the goal, attack the offender. Don't just leave the ball there.
As Bennett there and right on the line, it
yeah.
looks like.
No. Yeah, good call by the officials on top of that.
As you see at the top of the screen, official there waves it off immediately. Senior referee and Shane Butler head manning this crew. Lauren Barnett, Robert Sarfaraz, and Steve Skilly, the fourth official. De Abreu to the far side, steers it into the net with 56.5. Let's call it 6-1 here, Ontario.
Great shot by De Abreu. And the Ontario Fury keep them coming, keep them coming. A 5-goal lead now here against the Milwaukee Wave. And exactly what you needed to do if you wanted to get out of here with a win for Ontario. It's a 5-goal lead.
So Ontario capitalizing on the strategy right now from Coach Jules and the Milwaukee Wave, as they're continuing to play with the extra attacker. As Goncalves got the assist on the De Abreu goal. De Abreu with his 9th goal on the year. And Goncalves with his first assist on the year as well. As a restart coming for Milwaukee, they'll continue to use the extra attacker here. Oliveira dancing around Topete. Ferdinand. Now Liete. Oliveira on the turn, tripped up. Foul committed there from De Abreu. Unintentional, wants to make sure Luan is okay. Liete on the restart. Bennett deflected there. No defensive clearance, just a restart to the near side boards, and here we go. Under 30 seconds now remaining. Liete, tired legs possibly here for Milwaukee. They continue to utilize an extra attacker in Chino. Vega, Bennett, Topete defending, Hughes. 5 seconds remain, steered wide, Bennett with 3 seconds, Toth, and that'll do it for the first half. It is a 6-1 Ontario Fury lead here at the half. Jose Duran will have the halftime interview down on the pitch in just a minute here. You're watching live action on MASL TV at 11 Sports. You can also get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. If you are unable to catch MASL Primetime, MASL Primetime is a new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bashivansky hosts the 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch each and every episode as head coach Jimmy Nordberg will speak to my partner Jose Duran on the field in just a moment. As you can follow all the social media as well for the Ontario Fury all over the social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Please search at Ontario Fury. Our Jose Duran with head coach Jimmy Nordberg, a 6-1 lead for the Fury.
I'm here with head coach of the Ontario Fury. Coach, great start of the first half. What impressed you the most from your team from the first half?
I thought our discipline was really, really good. This is a very good wave team, and them coming out with 6 attackers on us was good. I thought our guys managed their shifts really, really well, and we defended very, very, very well, which led to a couple goals. I expect more of the same in the second half.
Yeah, I think bringing on the extra attackers, aggressive from the Milwaukee side, how do you go ahead and attack the game plan in the second half and they do the same?
So I think we can't bunker in. We want to defend them high still and force the ball on their half, and then once we get the ball, we want to keep it. And we want to make them chase us, and then we'll take advantage of our chances whenever we have them.
Absolutely. Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Head coach of the Ontario Fury, Jimmy Nordberg. There you have it. 6-1 lead for Ontario. Huge first half for the folks of the Inland Empire. We'll see what the second half brings, but we'll see it coming up here for you all.
I appreciate the time from head coach Jimmy Nordberg as his boys take a 6-1 halftime lead into the break. We'll be back in just a few moments here from Toyota Arena.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
Coming up next on MASL Primetime, in Week 14, Ontario is looking to keep its winning streak going against Kansas City. Rochester was oh so close to finally notching its first win of the season. Florida was trying to solidify its spot on top of the Eastern Conference. Monterey had plenty of tricks up its sleeve as it took on Mesquite. Well, Milwaukee was a Barker's paradise on Sunday. MASL Primetime is coming up next. And this is MASL Primetime. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. You know, it's worth remembering that the regular season is a marathon, not a sprint. And one team that's definitely taken that to heart is the Ontario Fury. After stumbling out of the gate this season, winning just 2 of their first 9 games, the Fury have been one of the hottest teams in the league as of late. In fact, they'd won 5 straight and had shot up to 3rd spot in the Western standings. They were looking to keep the streak going when they traveled to KC last Sunday. Highlights in this segment are brought to you by Mitre Soccer. Mitre is the official soccer ball of the MASL. It's not how you start, but rather how you finish, and Ontario has had plenty of finishing power lately. Although it's KC that draws first blood, Adam James ripping it past Chris Toth to make it 1-0. Juan Carlos Gonzalez evens things up for the visitors. Just a $1.16 later, and it was tied 1-1. Back and forth they went. O'Dane Sinclair, the gorgeous right footer that tickles the twine. 2-1 Comets. Back the other way though, Nestor Hernandez buries the feed from Juan Topete, and 2-2. It's tied up. The Fury take their first lead of the contest here when Jiho Lee punches it in from close range. Ontario went on a serious run then. King Frank taken over with the score 7-3. The former MASL MVP grabs his first of the game. And then it's Mr. Tielu on the doorstep, pouncing on the rebound. Ontario running away with it, leading 9-3. KC pushing back in the fourth quarter though. Ignacio Flores, the header to make it 11-5. And then it's Leo the Legend going to work. Leo Gibson smashing the miter ball past Toth. Despite getting it close, it was just too much of a deficit for the Comets to overcome, as assistant coach Alan Meyer discussed after the contest.
We came back, and hopefully we'll just build on that. It's a tough game. They're a very good team. They're on a nice winning streak, and we'll just need to play a little bit better the next time out.
Well, we've talked all year about how composed Mesquite has been in its first season, and this would be their most impressive win so far against San Diego. First quarter, Jose Maria Oteze. What a run, what a shot. Outlaws up 1-0. Craig Childs evens it up for San Diego in the second quarter. We've seen him do this for years from this spot. So easy. Might as well just concede the goal. Never misses. 1-1. Cody Ellis rips it 5-hole on Boris Pardo to give Mesquite back the lead, and then Boris gets caught in no man's land. Out of position, Omar Tapia gives the Outlaws a 2-goal lead. Then the Childs effect. Mesquite is shocked when he fakes the kick and lays it off for Travis Pittman, and it's just a 1-goal game. Second half, look at the work here by Anthony Powell, shaking off 2 players and finishing in style. Mesquite is turning heads in its expansion season. That is a huge win, as Oteze chatted about after the contest.
It's a great win. You know, we've been listening to Tattoo. He's seen the talent. You know, it's a brand new franchise, so we're trying to compete and stay up there with the big dogs. And finally, we're doing what Tattoo has been, and the coaching staff as well, have been teaching us, been preaching, and it's all coming together, you know.
Utica and Rochester tangled twice in week 14, and things were so intense the mascots very nearly threw down. 4:18 in, Jake Schindler puts the Blues on the board with the nice shot right there, and it's 1-0. Zikret Osmich evening things up for the Lancers, though, smacking it past keeper Andrew Coughlin, but then Christian Segura unloading an absolute screamer. Brian Wilkin can't catch up to it. And 2-1 Utica after 15 minutes of play. Second quarter, no style points for this one as it's just kind of sneaks in. Anthony Rosano makes it a 3-2 game. Beautiful passing by the Blue Shirts here, though. Uros Momic right on the goal line gets their 2-goal lead back. Skip ahead to the fourth. Segura continuing to dominate. What a run. And he makes it 6-2 UCFC. The big crowd loving it. And they'd add one more to make it a 7-2 final as they continue to pursue Florida for top spot in the East. Care, look at the points leaders in the MASL through 14 weeks of play. Frank Tielu, 57 points, followed by Leo Gibson, Vinny Dantas, Ian Bennett, Enrique Cañas of the Sonora Solas, and Tony Donatelli of Baltimore.
Head coach of the Milwaukee Wave here, Giuliano Oliviero. Coach, tough start for you here in Ontario. Talk to me, how has it been for you for that quick turnaround after such a tough loss last night in San Diego and now here in Ontario?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough loss last night in San Diego. Overtime, pretty grueling game, and you know what? Everyone has to go through it in this league, and we're not making excuses. We're not happy with the way we played in the first half.
So now that it's a 6-1 lead, what does the Milwaukee have to do here to get out of here with a win from Ontario?
You know what? I think we got to take it shift by shift. It's 6-1 right now, so our goal is to get the next goal, and from there just keep resetting goals, and hopefully come fourth quarter we have a chance to win.
Absolutely. Best of luck in the second half, coach. There you go, head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, had to be patient and, like you said, take it goal by goal. So hopefully, for their sake, they're able to do that in the second half. But so far in the game, it's been all Ontario Fury. We'll see here in the second half. Back to you upstairs, Brian.
Well, that brings us to a 6-1 halftime score here inside Toyota Arena. Appreciate the time, Coach Jules. And in the first half ends, if you missed it, Diaz started the match for the visiting defending champion Milwaukee Wave. And with the schedule that they had, coming off a back-to-back, not only a game in San Diego, which is a couple hours away here from Ontario, down at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. It was a night game last night. They went to overtime. They went to shootouts, finished up that game, traveled up north a couple hours to us here in the Inland Empire, and an afternoon start here against a team that is arguably one of the best, if not the best, right now in the MASL. That is yet to be determined, but the defending champs are in the building right now. It's a 6-1 deficit. As right now, Diaz is starting the second half of play so far. And Chris Toth will play for Ontario. Now to the far side in Pacheco. Pacheco, the youngster and the rookie, first-year player out of Southern California. Ferdinand tees it up on the volley attempt. That is no good. And now Toth will collect and steer it to the near side in Hernandez. Working from right to left here on the opening few minutes here in the third quarter of play. Fan Appreciation Day here at Toyota Arena. Fans able to meet and greet these Ontario Fury players at the end of this afternoon's contest. Goncalves pinching in. And now Gonzalez, Uzi Tielu meeting there along the near side glass. No extra attacker yet for Milwaukee. I say that because majority of that first half, after the 3 goals were relinquished from Diaz, the starting goalie, they did play with an extra attacker. Ferdinand tees it up from distance, always sailing wide. Tielu with a first half hat trick. Stinson with a goal as well, along with De Abreu and Charlie Gonzalez. So the usual suspects finding the stat sheet in that first half. Oliveira, now for Milwaukee, goes against Goncalves. Tees up his left foot. Just got underneath it was Luan. Spent some time here in Southern California for a season under head coach at the time and team president Bernie Lillevoix. Now Toth will restart with the newcomer who came over in free agency out of St. Louis, and Justin Stinson. You talk about offensive catalyst. Yes, Frank Tielu, no doubt about that. Justin Stinson would be the 1A, if you will. 16 goals on the year, 26 points for himself in his first season with the Ontario Fury. Cisse, the captain, to the near side. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg, during warm-ups this afternoon, stated he wanted to see urgency and hunger and pressure in the first few minutes against the visiting Milwaukee Wave. After a tough loss in Turlock just a couple nights ago, the Cal Express took it to Ontario Fury, stopped that 6-game win streak, and they got to start all over again. But Jose, you spent some time with Coach Jules at the half. Any insight you can tell us there from the few minutes you spent with him?
Yeah, Coach just wasn't happy with what he saw his team. I said, how difficult was it for him to make that quick turnaround from the tough San Diego loss last night to quick here. He says, everybody has to play a tough schedule. Everybody has sort of the same schedule here in the league, so he doesn't want to hear any excuses. But in terms of the second half, he said just take it goal by goal. He just get one back and then work from there. So he wants to go ahead and focus on that. So we'll see who actually gets the extra attacker here soon, but so far nothing.
Tielu with the first half hat trick, steers it to Gonzalez off of the boards. Uzi Tielu now halted by Fernand. In the end, a foul on Uzi and a restart for the visitors. But yeah, these aren't young legs, right? I mean, coming from an evening match down in San Diego and an afternoon start here. I touched base with the home voice of the San Diego Sockers and Craig Elston as he took him to the brink. Well, I shouldn't say him personally, but his boys down in San Diego took the team to the distance last night at Pechanga Arena as Chino, who was the extra attackers, tangled up to the far side with Kyrell. But he just touched on, there's good points that Elston did bring up, as I spoke to him not too long ago. And, Capino's played a heck of a game down in San Diego. You better believe he's tired and gassed. And their options, Diaz, what a strong spirit he has, trying to come back from a leg injury. And he's back into the mix. So Diaz, not I would say at 100% match ready, but trying to get out there to make a difference in tonight's contest. And then you have the extra attacker option, which is exactly what they did in the first half. Stinson dances around Oliveira. Still Stinson. Deflected there in the end. Diaz will roll it out to the near side. And that ultimately finds the feet of Chris Toth. Leite had a heck of a game last night. 3 goals and a shootout conversion for himself. It was Craig Childs who sealed it for San Diego. He was one of the first 3 shooters, and then when it goes to extra shots, you're allowed to reuse any of those first 3 shooters, and that's exactly what Childs did last night. He demanded that 4th shot and executed. Imagine that, me giving praise to Craig Childs. That guy is just, he continues to be a true pro in every facet. It was just cool to see him say, you know what, I got this. And he buried it, and they won the match because of his execution there.
Yeah, and it was an important match for San Diego to go ahead and get a win in the column after the Fury had lost because, don't want to go ahead and alarm anyone, but before last night's game with San Diego won, the Fury were just 2 games back of the loss column from San Diego, so they're knocking on the door for that 2nd seed with 4 games left. That game, now that they won last night, San Diego did, changes things up, but they're still there, though, Ontario.
Stinson earning the ball back, steers it to Hughes, does have Hernandez up top, utilizes Kyrell on the overlapping run. Oliveira heads the ball back to Diaz, and, you bring up a good point, Jose. You look at the Western Conference. You're looking at Sonora. You're looking at Tacoma right on the heels of them. Then you got Ontario, San Diego, and Monterey. Obviously, San Diego and Monterey locking their playoff positions up. But Ontario's got to take care of business. 10-9 does not seal a 4th or 3rd, for that matter, playoff position. Sonora's schedule is very difficult remaining. Tacoma sitting at 7-10. Turlock they won today, so, they scored their highest goal total of the season. I believe it was 14 for Turlock. So,
they're in the mix too.
They got 3 players from Mexico who just got approved, and they are a part of that team for the Cal Express. And you better believe they're going to scratch their way and try and find themselves into that Western Conference playoff picture as well. Nick Pereira and his boys up in Tacoma will scratch tooth and nail. Ontario's too familiar with that jockeying back and forth with playoff position with Tacoma. And Tacoma was the only team in the MASL to beat Monterey, nearly beat Florida not too long ago. So the remaining schedule for the Ontario Fury is no slouch at all. You got to visit the Tacoma Stars and the Turlock Cal Express. They'll round out the season with guess who? The San Diego Sockers down south at Pechanga Arena on March 22nd. Local kickoff time there, 5:05 p.m. on MASL TV. Uzi Tielu defensively, well done for Milwaukee to play it off the glass. They get their 2nd goal on the night. Isaac Pereira gets his 7th on the year, his 12th point. believe the assist goes to Hain. That's his third on the season.
Yeah, assist to Hain, and just like that, it's 6-2. But Zach Pereira in the exact moment at the right time, just to poke it there. Goncalves a second too late, but the Ontario Fury still just a 4-goal lead. And in the last couple of minutes, it's been not so much of a dominant performance from Ontario, but rather we saw the Milwaukee Wave show their dominance, and just like that, they get 1 goal back.
Well, they were tied, nearly tied with shots at the break. But we'll be back from Toyota Arena, a 6-2 Ontario Fury lead.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you.
So Milwaukee gets on the board for the second time this afternoon. You see the replay here. And a play right off of the boards there from Hain. Beautiful tee up right past Toth. Nothing he can do about that. Execution on the Wave side. And 6.5 remaining here in the third quarter of play. The halftime score was 6-1. And at the half, nearly tied with shots. Actually, Milwaukee led at the half 18-16. Turnover from Hughes. Bennett trying to capitalize. Defended there from Cisse. 1v1, he'll lay it off to Chino, who played the extra attacker in the first half. He's going against the rookie. Lays it off to the far side, and Liete goes around Stinson. Still along the boards. Bennett. No shooting lane there for the second leader in MASL goals total with 37. Tielu trying to stretch that lead as a first half hat trick against the defending champs.
It's been all Milwaukee in the second half, but the Fury able to still contain them. And as long as the clock keeps ticking and they're able to get them off the board, I think the Fury should be in a good way to get out of here with a win.
Chino rising shot from the near side. Bangs off the glass, and they'll maintain in their attacking half. Hughes trying to hold up Ferdinand. Tielu now on the break. Hughes on the break for Ontario, just out of his reach. He'll hop off for a line change in the home team. Kyrell defending Liete. And now Vega. Far side in Liete, left-footed shot attempt. Up and over, and a restart coming for Chris Toth and company. Everyone's acting like there's a timeout on the pitch. Looks like the referees are
going to discuss something here.
Discussing something here.
Folks, you're watching the Ontario Fury on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. Also get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. It seems like some discussion is going on between the two captains here in the middle of the field. Not exactly sure, but I think this kind of just helps the Ontario Fury in terms of the ball being dead. The Milwaukee Waves seemed like they were on top of them, creating some type of pressure, but dead ball here seems like it plays in the favor of the Ontario Fury. We'll see in the next couple of minutes, but just at that, Brian, 4:51 left here in the third quarter. It's flying by.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jose. Not sure what the referees were discussing. It looked like potentially See another referee, I believe, possibly might be putting on a referee jersey. Nonetheless, no penalties, nothing like that was called.
Yeah, that's the case, then it must have been some type of injury or something going on for the officials to make that switch.
Again, the senior referee is Shane Butler. Lauren Barnett is the referee. The fourth official is Steve Skilly. And the assistant referee is Robert Serafraz.
The old switch-a-roo between the referees, Brian. You don't see it often. Last time we saw an engagement in the stands, and now we're seeing a switch of referees here in MASL Arena. But hopefully the officials going out should be okay if not. But the reason why, for the most part, you make a switch is because of an injury. The official's ready to go. He's like, let's go.
So switch referees on the pitch. And Tote the restart for the home team. Bouncing ball near midfield. Kyrell settles down. And Milwaukee on the attack again. Stopped in his tracks. And it's a race to the ball to the far side in Vega and Hernandez. Diaz for Milwaukee. Started today's contest. Was down 3-0 after a blink of an eye. Was pulled for an extra attacker.
Great pressure by the Fury.
Topete tripped up. Looks like there was some contact there after Topete and Vega get tangled up here. And a knee right in the back of the head. So contact above the shoulder. Let's hope Vega is okay.
Who's that on?
See right here, Topete trying to get to the ball from there. After they got tangled up to the far side. And Vega and Topete have been at it since the first whistle and since they tangled up in the first quarter. Vega is being attended to right now.
Topete
Athletic trainer Ricardo Chavez. I mean, that's got to be so painful for Vega. And for all intents and purposes, for Topete as well.
Yeah, that's why he raised his hand up, because he knew right away and he felt that in his knee. Hey, I hit him really hard in his head there. So hopefully for Vega, he's okay. Nonetheless, it's definitely hard to get a hit there in that part of the brain, that part of the head, just because of the implications that it has. But also, it just whiplashes you right ahead and takes you out. But we see movement. He seemed like he's okay, but he definitely took the worst part of that.
Well, the remaining schedule for the Ontario Fury, you're looking after tonight's contest. They'll play host to the Tacoma Stars on Saturday the 7th, 6:05 local kickoff time. And then the regular season finale here, Friday, March 13th at 7:05 p.m. against the Turlock Cal Express. They'll do a home-and-home on back-to-back nights. After the last regular season home game on Friday, they'll travel up north to take on the same team, the Turlock Cal Express, on the 14th local kickoff time. An early one,
That's
4:05.
You're talking about 2 games in less than 24 hours, having to travel up to Turlock. So we'll see how the boys do up there.
They'll get a dose of what Milwaukee's going through right now with an evening and then followed by an afternoon kick. And then to round out the regular season, Sunday, March 22nd, they'll visit the San Diego Sockers down at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Local kickoff time at 5:05 p.m. down south. So you see Vega up on his own power and walking to the bench. Contact from Topete's knee and head. Topete goes over and tries to see how Vega is doing. Nonetheless, a foul call there. Not sure. So it looks like they called the foul.
Who would you get? It's a 50-50 there. Drop the ball on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like Nestor's actually just going to play it right back.
Yeah, because at that point, I mean.
And there we go.
They're both going for the ball there. There's nothing Vega wanted to do to bring down Topete. And Topete obviously didn't want to go ahead and hit Vega purposely. So great call by the officials. 4 minutes left here, Brian. 4 minutes.
4 minutes left in the third quarter. Off of the glass, Milwaukee trying to settle. And you're right, Jose, you said it not too long ago. It's been all Milwaukee here in the third quarter. 1 goal they got back after the halftime lead was a 6-1 Fury lead. Off of the glass again, almost identical attempt there from Milwaukee and Hain. Hernandez applying pressure to Oliveira. Luan spending a season here in Ontario, then headed down south to San Diego and finds his home again with Milwaukee. As Hain now for the Wave. Leite steers it to the far side. Gonzalez and Concalves pressuring along with Tielu now to the near side and Huffman. Chino, near side glass. De Abreu defending. Ferdinand. Charlie Gonzalez defending him.
Great defense.
Wins that battle. Tielu 1v2, 1v3. Chino stops him right near midfield.
Oof.
In like a flash is Justin Stinson to earn the ball back for the home team.
It's those 50-50 balls that it's either you or the other player, and you got to go in strong at those. And so far, Justin Stinson going in strong in that one previous play in the first half. Topete doing the same thing. So the three players, there's some grit to them so far here tonight.
Let's hope he's okay. Justin
Yeah, he's
Stinson
kind
was
of wobbling, huh?
grabbing his right shoulder. Boy, that would be.
He's so fast.
He is very fast. Stinson, an underrated player, at least from our vantage point out here in Southern California last year. And we're getting spoiled with him this year, along with Gonzalez and Tielu. On the layoff, it is Stinson. Tripped up, no foul call there. Play to the whistle, boys, as Bennett streaks past midfield. Shouldered off the ball. And now into the hands of Toth. Toth will spring it forward to Tielu. Frank gets it over to Kyrell, far side.
Oof.
Diaz makes himself look big at the edge of the box. Makes a save for Milwaukee. Under 2 minutes now remain here in the third quarter. You see on the replay here, Kyrell sprinting out as he does so often ahead of the break. Diaz won that battle.
Great save there by goalkeeper Diaz, and does the Christ, as all he does is just puts his whole body in front of him. Kyrell, and that's all you have to do as a goalkeeper there, take up any angle, and Kyrell just close it up and hit it right to him. And 1:17 left in the third quarter. Goal
And
here.
a deflection there, off of the glass, off of the knee, and they make it a 6-3 game here. It is Pereira again. So he got the second and third goal. You see off the glass, right in the middle. Toth really can't do much after Hernandez not on the right position defensively, and it's 6-3 Ontario.
Yeah, it seems almost identical to the second goal that they scored tonight in Milwaukee, as they're making the right runs at the right time, and the Ontario Free players are just one step behind of those runs. Previously to this, a couple clips before, we saw Charlie did sprint and get to the players before there, but unfortunately for Nestor Hernandez and Concalves in the goals, they were a step just behind, not there. And it's a 3-goal lead, Brian, just like that.
So you think if they get another goal here within the next couple minutes, I mean, obviously there's 1 minute left here in the third. They get another goal in the first few minutes of the fourth. I think they pull the goalie again and use an extra attacker to go extra aggressive, or are they going to play as is with Diaz?
I think play as is as Diaz. They've been working out the whole second half with having him just as a goalkeeper, and they just cut down to a 3-goal lead. So if it's working, why change it?
Vega back onto the pitch after getting banged up just a few minutes ago. So a great sign for Milwaukee.
Ooh.
Concalves and Bennett tangled up, and in the end, it looks like a foul on Concalves. Drop ball, restart. Hernandez shoved off the ball there. And it's actually a foul on Hernandez to the far side.
Oof, you see the replay there. Concalves just kicking Bennett and the ball at the same time. But I like Bennett's composure. Other players would have gotten frustrated in his face. He's like, dude, let's just play and keep going.
Chino now to the far side in Huffman. And with 15 seconds remaining, Leite steering it to the near side glass. They've been dangerous, boy, on this
This
glass in the third period. They're trying to set that up again. Under 5 seconds remain now. 3, 2, and now 1. No shot attempt. Period over after 3 quarters of play. 6-3 Ontario Fury lead.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fantasia. This is United Chiropractic Health Center. We are a full-service chiropractic clinic including acupuncture, sports and therapeutic massage, non-surgical spinal decompression for the treatment of bulging discs without surgery, You can reach us at drfantasia.com. Call us. We're here to serve you.
MASL Primetime is the new home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday as Alex Bastivansky hosts a 30-minute deep dive into the MASL. Make sure to catch each and every episode. Jose, have you watched the latest episode yet? I know you were out of the country, ladies and gentlemen. This guy just got engaged, so congrats to my partner
Thank you.
Jose Duran. About MASL Primetime, boy. Great episodes.
Yeah.
Bastivansky and the team out there do a heck of a job to bring you the highlights across the MASL. But can we speak about the highlight on your trip? Like, how did it all go down?
It was great. It was great. Other than the actual part of getting there was the toughest part because of the flights and all that. But it was great. Great time. El Salvador is a beautiful country. Encourage everyone to go ahead and take a trip out there. Beautiful beaches, beautiful weather, but most importantly, an engaged man.
Well, was it a candlelit dinner or a moonlit dinner?
It was a candlelit dinner, beachside with the sunset.
Right on.
Can't beat that.
Do you remember exactly what you said? Because I don't remember exactly what I said to my wife.
I told myself that I was going to remember everything that I said, and then when it comes down to it, it just doesn't come in.
Let me retract for a second. I don't remember word for word what I said.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy if she hears that.
I exactly remember what I did. And I'll just say that my pet dog was involved with the ring tied around her neck. And it was, hey, man, either way you do it, congrats on the engagement partner. So here we go on the fourth quarter of play here from Toyota Arena. Just over 3,000 fans joining us here on a Sunday afternoon in Southern California, wherever you are watching. So glad you can join us here on MASL TV. Held up there and a foul in the end on Huffman.
Man, I think if Frank goes to the ground, the official brings the yellow-blue card out there. But Frank's such a big guy to go ahead and try to take down. Foul nonetheless.
Yeah, that was close. Topete over the ball. He'll steer it to the far side with Cisse. Stinson trying to dance around his defender, Ferdinand, right past midfield. Boy, Stinson, yeah, you said it.
Speed.
Quick feet. Stinson off the glass. Settled down now from Cisse to the far side. De Abreu. And I'll tell you, incidental contact there. Oliveira and De Abreu. Fellow Brazilians tangling up.
Not happy there as he felt like he went down. Contact off the ball, but just play on. Play to the whistle, like you said.
Milwaukee, after today's contest, they will play host to the Orlando Seawolves on Saturday, March 7th. In back-to-back games, actually, on the 7th and 8th.
Very aggressive 50-50 balls we're seeing here tonight, but thankfully both players from both sides are just going straight to the ball and nothing too much in terms of physicality and hurting the other player.
So if you're unfamiliar with the Waves schedule, after the home and home against Orlando, check this out. They're going to visit St. Louis on a Friday. They'll play host to Baltimore on that Sunday the 15th, and then Utica City and Harrisburg to round out. I say check this out because the Eastern Conference standings, Florida, Utica City, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Harrisburg right on the heels. So
it's an easy schedule.
It should be an intense wrap-up to their regular season for Milwaukee. After the foul, Gonzalez and Topete over the ball for Ontario to restart here along the near side. Diaz instructing his wall on positioning. Gonzalez, far side, defended there. Believe that was off of the boards. Either that or Diaz makes himself really big in that instance.
I think it was off Diaz, but you can see the Ontario Fury, what they practice throughout the week on set pieces, and it's so important part of the game. And Ontario has been so great throughout the season in set pieces plays, and they've shown it throughout the year.
Gonzalez, he's had a quiet afternoon so far. Dare I say, I wake up his stat sheet by saying that.
Already has a goal tonight and earlier in the contest, but hasn't been involved as we've seen him out throughout other games. But, boy, what a player he is.
Ontario is content on maintaining possession as long as this lead stays the same. Haven't scored yet in the second half. And I did touch on Sonora. Tielu held up by Chino. No foul call there. No whistle, and we play on. Kyrell now. Gonzalez. Look like right there, maybe some contact. But play on we go here in the fourth with 12:06 remaining. Kyrell tried to steer it in the vicinity of Tielu. Charlie and Kyrell. Bouncing ball for both teams. And finally settled down with Liete. Sonora still has to play Utica City and Monterey 3 times, Jose. They had 2 home games against Monterey and then an away game against Monterey. And let's throw in Utica City. That takes place today.
Huge.
So you'll see that on MASL TV. And I bring up Sonora's schedule because currently in the 4th playoff position in the West that is yet to be solidified.
Yeah, huge game that bet you any money that folks from Tacoma and Turlock are going to be paying close attention to this game because, like you mentioned, the last games for the Sonora is going to be completely difficult, but also for the Ontario Fury, they're going to keep an eye on that too as they're trying to solidify that third seed, and so far they're doing so great tonight here with a win.
Ontario International Airport is a proud partner of the Ontario Fury. Visit flyontario.com. SoCal, so easy. So a foul call near side, right over the Ontario Fly banner. Liete. Far side. Rising shot along the left foot and far side. Up and out of bounds. After Wiedebach tried to get it in there, and Toth will restart for Ontario.
More of that. You bet head coach Jimmy Norberg's pleading and asking for more of those shots to go out and out of bounds for the Milwaukee Wave as time's sort of ticking. 11 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, and the Fury still with that 3-goal lead, which we know it could evaporate in a heartbeat.
Hernandez now shaken up after him and Vega tangled along the near side. You see on the replay here. Foul call in the end on Hernandez after Vega hits the deck. No blue cards given or penalties. Deflection right past that yellow line into the crowd. Wow, they tried to get it back onto the pitch and field of play. Actually hit another viewer along the front row. At least they're having a good laugh and nobody's injured.
Come at your own risk.
Toth and Cisse trying to make sure this lead holds. De Abreu now.
Ooh.
Past midfield. Stinson to the near side. Tried to get it on the outside of the foot to the far side, and it was just a little too wide off of that right foot. Right idea from Stinson, not 100% on the accuracy.
Well, if he makes that goal, turn the lights off and let's go home.
Cisse, yeah, I agree with you, partner. The way that this second half has been playing out, it's at a standstill. Oliveira now tried to get it to the two-time goal scorer of today's contest, and Pereira. Now Liete. Wiedebach. And Van de Griffey. Wiedebach. Volley attempt. Well done from Toth.
Yeah.
And the rebound goes wide as well.
Huge save by Toth. I mean, kind of directed right at him, but God, you got to just have a lot in you to go ahead and just take that fire.
Coming in hot was Wiedebach and stopped on that attempt. Ferdinand tried to steer it to that near side boards. Toth met the challenge. 9:35 remaining now in the fourth quarter. Bennett and Ferdinand near midfield.
Well, Bennett so far just can't seem to get him rhythm going. He's trying, he's running, but the three players, every time he touches the ball, there's one or two players right on top of him trying to poke the ball away.
Whistle to the far side. Ferdinand involved along with De Abreu. He tried to go around him here. That's just a bad play from De Abreu.
Yeah, luckily no blue cards so far tonight and for the Fury as well.
Let's look at Tacoma's schedule. Tacoma will play the Ontario Fury here at Toyota Arena on Saturday. Charlie Gonzalez trying to get around Chino. Shoulder to shoulder near the boards. Arm up. And
hey.
I mean, there's contact there.
Yeah, that should be a blue card here, folks. Hands on an official is never allowed in any sport, and Chino did exactly that there. I mean, you get he's hot with Charlie there, but to go ahead and push an official, I don't know.
So far,
lucky.
Disciplinary action there for what you just described, Jose.
It's weird.
Pacheco now. The rookie's been such a bright spot in the midst of all the offensive firepower and Tielu, Stinson, and Gonzalez. Pacheco's had a solid first year. Tielu holding on to the ball. Liete just drags him down.
Now, going back to what you were mentioning on Pacheco, couldn't agree even more. I think every time he's on the field, every time he gets called upon, he just somehow shines and does exactly everything right that he has to. Doesn't really seem like a rookie the way he carries his out there in his body language. So comfortable with the ball on his feet and moving moving away from the ball too. So enjoy what I like so far from Pacheco and from the Ontario Fury in general. With 8 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, it's been all Ontario in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. And with a 3-goal lead, it looks like they want more. Giving back with Justin Stinson. The shot. What a save by goalkeeper Diaz. At full extent, and here come the Milwaukee Wave. Great slide there again by Justin Stinson. Frank Tielu turns around, 1-on-1v1, goes through the legs. Still Tielu. And Chino finally able to go ahead and poke the ball away. Tries to get away, and Frank pokes it out, and a foul called. Chino trying to get in his face, but, you know, Frank Tielu, kudos to him. We know that he is the type of player that gets in players' heads, but not the other way when someone tries to get into his head. He has a great demeanor and knows exactly what to do as he walks away.
Yeah, Tielu and Chino to the far side there. I mean, it went back about 10 seconds before that play was finally whistled dead with contact between both of them. Ferdinand, defended there from the captain, Izzy Cisse. Toth will collect and roll it out to Nestor Hernandez. Near side glass against Oliveira. Oliveira now double teamed along the near side. Referee whistled it dead.
He calls it in favor of Ontario.
Well, that was Oliveira and Van de Griffey. And it's a drop ball. And the restart here, along with Kyrell. And now Cisse will steer it all the way back to Chris Toth. But Tacoma's schedule is a difficult one as well.
Oof.
They're trying to get back into the playoff picture. Liete on the counter, defended by Gonzalez. Shoulder to shoulder, no whistle, no foul. Hernandez. Still Hernandez. Tried to get it across to De Abreu. And it's somewhat of a sloppy game here in the last handful of minutes. Players getting frustrated with each other. Bennett on the break against Toth, just wide. That's Bennett's best scoring opportunity so far here today. Does have an assist on the afternoon. Gonzalez, boy, he could have intercepted that pass. Instead, it's Pereira looking for the hat trick, denied from Toth.
Yeah, I begin to wonder if tired legs are becoming a factor for Ontario too, as we kind of saw the ball just slowly skim through it, and Charlie didn't make any attempts to go ahead and stop that, and possibly it could be tired legs.
As you see on the replay there, Bennett got it past Toth and just wide. Held scoreless last night in San Diego. Rising shot off the foot of Bennett, but held pointless to that fact in San Diego. 6-3 in the fourth quarter. After these messages, we'll be back from Ontario, California.
Welcome to Ontario International Airport. Located in the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire, ONT is the travel hub for over 10 million residents and the perfect place to launch your SoCal adventure. If you're planning a theme park visit, a beach vacation, or a retreat into the mountains, ONT is in the middle of it all. Visit us and find out why ONT is becoming the world's airport of choice by caring for what matters most, you. Welcome.
Down there. Inside Toyota Arena, a 6-3 Ontario Fury lead. Goal scorers for the Ontario Fury, a hat trick by the King Frank Tielu, which he acquired in the first half of play. And then it was De Abreu, Charlie Gonzalez, and Stinson joining in on the scoring as well. Pereira has netted a pair along with Ferdinand for the defending Milwaukee Wave, defending champion Milwaukee Wave. After the restart, Hughes will collect for Ontario, working from left to right here in this fourth and final quarter. As you see the stats there from the King, Frank Tight. Well, Jose, he started the day with 41 goals. Now he has 44 to continue the lead in the MASL. In second with 37 goals himself is Ian Bennett. So pointless last night in San Diego in the overtime shootout loss. So far, 1 assist on the afternoon on Ferdinand's goal.
Frank's special, isn't he? Leads the league in points, goals, game-winning goals, and stars of the game selection.
Hughes on the loose ball, and Toth will retreat back to the Ontario Fury goal. Under 5 minutes now remaining here in the fourth quarter. Tielu held up from Vega. Back and forth we go near midfield.
See the Fury players, though, they're sliding, they're trying to get the ball back, they're doing all the right things. Not so much from the Milwaukee side. We're not seeing that kind of grit, that kind of enthusiasm for the ball.
Pereira, Oliveira, shot attempt, rebound stopped, and he clears the ball. Wow, what can Toth not do? Kyrell.
Oh!
That'll get the crowd back into it. The 7th goal provided off of the rocket right foot of Kyrell, and it's 7-3 Fury.
Boy, listen to this crowd. They're on their feet. They're loving it, but they're loving the fact what they saw from Chris Toth. If you want to go ahead and see the way you create a play from the defensive side and create a perfect counterattack, you're watching it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Toth, Tielu, Kyrell, close the deal, turn the lights off, let's go home. 7-3 Ontario.
What a beautiful goal that was.
Yeah, that was.
Off the right foot of Kyrell. 7-3 Ontario Fury lead against the defending champions visiting Toyota Arena. We'll be back after these messages. Kyrell just blew the roof off of Toyota Arena here in the fourth quarter, but it all started right there with Chris Toth. 3 quick saves and a clearance, and that led to this break from Kyrell. I see the smoke off the ball, Jose. I mean, he absolutely lit it up with that attempt off the right foot. Ontario International Airport is a proud partner of the Ontario Fury. You can visit flyontario.com. SoCal, so easy. So the extra attacker on with now under 4 minutes remaining.
Is he going to get a goal too?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man.
What a game would that be for Chris Toth. Wow.
Well, he has a goal
in his career, he does.
That we witnessed here. The whole ball has to cross the whole line for it to be a successful goal. And this team has really left me speechless in the last couple minutes here. After that goal was scored, and Oliveira, he's going to give fair warning here.
Give the man half the assist in the last goal, too. He makes the double saves. and somehow clears it with his foot to go ahead and give it right to Frank Tielu, who then sets up Nestor Kyrell and then gets into the back of the net. And Ontario Fury, folks, hats off to them. Round of applause. Just what a game we are witnessing here from beautiful Toyota Arena as the Ontario Fury jump to a 7-3 lead. And we see here clear instant replay. The ball never crosses the line as Chino, kudos to him. This is his second save of tonight. Crucial save, I should say, because the previous one kept the Fury from the scoreboard, and he does those right here today as well. And it's 7-3 so far from Ontario, and it's been all Ontario Fury. Folks, you're watching Ontario Fury on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. Also, get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. And for all the insights of the Ontario Fury and everything that goes on through the season, make sure to give me a follow at Jose Duran Sports on Twitter, Jose Duran Sports on Instagram as well, for all the insights behind the scenes and everything that you want to see from the Ontario Fury. As we're taking a look here at another replay, Kyrell just picks his head up and just laps that one into the top right-hand corner, right there where the Spiders like to leave their webbing, and nothing goalkeeper Diaz could do there to get that from getting to the back of the net. And Frank Tielu, folks, having himself a game with 3 goals and assists. And tonight, thank you, fans. Thank you for everyone making it out here from beautiful Toyota's Arena. We got tonight's attendance at 3,598. That's 3,598 in attendance in beautiful Toyota Arena. And boy, they are getting treated to a special one here tonight. Huge game against the reigning MASL champions, and the Ontario Fury are looking like they're the reigning champions. 7-3 lead, but most importantly from Ontario, it's been a commanding showing out here. You always kind of want to get out there after a loss and show that you shrugged it off, and that you want to demonstrate to your fans that that was just a hiccup. And boy, have they done here tonight with this showing against the defending champions. Chris Toth trying to get away and touch the Goncalves. It's deflected out of bounds and going to be a throw-in for Ontario. Quick start by Goncalves, gives it away, however, and somehow finds the ball back into his feet, clears it away, looking for Frank Tielu. On top of Tielu is Vandergriff. The heel touch to Goncalves. The ball goes off the wall and cleared away by the Milwaukee Wave. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, in the game so far. All Ontario Fury. Here's Chris Toth, arguably as well one of the players of the game as well. Frank tries to turn. Gets away by 1, gets away by 2. Here comes Frank Tielu. He has Charlie in front of him. He's going to chip it over the goalkeeper. Tries to chip it over the goalkeeper. However, Chino says, not tonight. He's making his 3rd save as a goalkeeper. Impressive. Never easy when a field player has to jump on the duties of a goalkeeper, but Chino's making it seem like he's done this all his life. The ball passes the equator of the field, and here comes the Milwaukee Wave. Really good stop by Chris Toth. The shot from there, and it goes just wide. Chris Toth stopping the ball, looking for the Milwaukee Wave player. Here's Bennett. So far, nothing do it here from the second leading goal scorer of the MASL, Bennett. He's been held at 37 goals and at 0 goals his last 2 games here in Southern California, as they played last night in San Diego, and the Sockers coming up victorious there. 1:28 left here in the fourth quarter. It seems like the Ontario Fury are going to come out of here victorious and get their 11th win of the season and maintain themselves there in the 3rd seed of the MASL. Long ball here looking for Frank Tielu. Chris Toth does find him. Chino just goes to the ground as nobody touches him there. It's been all the body of Frank Tielu. Here's Charlie Gonzalez, 1v5. He's going to take a shot on goal either way. Goes just wide into the hands of Chino. 1 minute left in regulation. Oliveira back to Chino. Here comes the Milwaukee Wave. Here's Bennett on top of the ball trying to get through Topete, who's done a very well defensive job on Bennett. The shot goes just wide. Hit it away by Charlie Gonzalez. Still loose there. Bennett, the half bicycle kick. And he's standing there saying, like, what do I have to do to get the ball in the back of the net tonight? What a great save by Chris Toth as Bennett showing signs of frustration. There's 25 seconds left here in the game. The crowd begins to get on its feet. It seems like the Ontario Fury, not seems, it is a fact that the Ontario Fury are going to get out of here and defeat the reigning MASL Cup champions, the Milwaukee Wave, with a 4-goal lead, 7-3. The Ontario Fury call it a night. Fans are on their feet, up 3,598 in attendance. And for those of you at home, give a round of applause for the Ontario Fury. Tip of the hat for you folks out there enjoying this game as well, as the Ontario Fury come out victorious tonight in beautiful Toyota Arena. 7-3. 3 goals from Frank Tielu, goals from Justin Stinson, Charlie Gonzalez, Mike Andea Abreu, and Joseph Kyrell top tonight's game, and it's a 7-goal lead. But let me tell you folks, what I enjoy most about that, the distribution of goals. 7 goals tonight, 3 from Frank, single goals here and there from Justin, Charlie Gonzalez, Mike On, and Kyrell. This team is absolutely coming together, and they're getting hot at the right time, folks. 11 wins for the Fury, a team that at one point, January 16th, folks, were 2-7. We're talking about a month and change ago, 2-7 to now 11-9. 6 out of the last 7 games, 9 out of the last 11 games. Safe to say, the Ontario Fury, one of the hottest teams in the Major Arena Soccer League. And what a great way to do it here in Fan Appreciation Night in Toyota Arena. Great win for the Fury. Coach Jimmy Nordberg, what he has done to turn this team around should be in considerations if the Fury, again, if the Fury make the playoffs. Coach of the Year, folks. It's not an easy thing to do to get your team head back into it when you're 2-7. 5 games, you're talking about 5 games under 500 to start the season. A lot of coaches, a lot of teams, you lose your players. They're done. They know the season's already over. Why even fight for a playoff push? But not this team. Boy, they've done an amazing turnaround, to say the least. And it goes to all the kudos, and he does get a lot of the criticism, Coach Jimmy Nordberg. But kudos to him and his players. Whoa, what a turnaround. 11-9, 3rd seed in the Major Arena Soccer League in the Western Conference, and somehow, little by little, solidifying themselves as a top of making the playoffs. With just 4 games left here in the season, Tacoma Stars coming up Saturday, March 7th, Turlock Express March 13th, and they close out the season visiting the Turlock Express March 14th and the San Diego Sockers March 22nd. So, tough schedule for the Ontario Fury, but a great win nonetheless here from the Ontario Fury, as we have Chris Toth going to be interviewed by Brian Tabajay courtside, arguably the player of the game here tonight, as we go with Brian Tabajay and Chris Toth.
Ontario goalkeeper Chris Toth, just talk about that win against the defending champs coming here to Ontario.
Yeah, in the beginning of the season, I think everybody had that one circled here in Ontario. It was a massive game, especially dropping that game against Turlock the other night. We knew it had to be a rebound game. We did so well on the road, and to lose that winning streak and the momentum a little bit there, it was really important to reestablish it and win at home.
Well, you guys are back in the win column. There's a 6-game winning streak, 8 of your last 10 on the win side. What do you guys have to do to close out this season and make sure you guys qualify for the Ronderman Cup playoffs?
We just got to keep working, stay humble and just keep working one game at a time. Obviously the playoffs are the first goal, and that's what we want to get to, and we just got to keep working.
Well, what a heck of a performance here from Chris Toth and the Ontario Fury. Another win here from Toyota Arena. Chris, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
All right. Back to you, Jose.
Ryan, as you heard from Chris Toth there, what a great sequence of saves that we're seeing throughout the replays, but not importantly as the one that we saw to end the game there with a goal from Joseph Kyrell. Double save by Chris Toth, that somehow has the presence of mind to go ahead and touch the ball and save it for Frank Tielu, who then assists to Kyrell and make it 7-3. What a game tonight from Toyota Arena, folks. You were treated to an amazing game from the Ontario Fury. Hopefully they close out the season the way they've closed it out here tonight. 7-3 win. From Brian Tabajay, the production team here, I am Jose Duran. Thank you so much for joining us. That's it from Ontario, California. Have a good night.